We got a scary video for you guys. Super scary. Cuddle up. Cuddle up with your little teddy bears, with your onesie. Your cute little onesie you're wearing with your teddy bear. Make sure you have a fresh diaper on. Make sure you change your little diaper. I know it's probably dinky. Probably really dinky. You probably need to change that. Stop it, Chad is getting horny. Good point.
Today's video is sponsored by Raycon.
Wait, actually, you know, I want to find that video real quick.
Oi, why are you disrespecting me, bruv? My mistake, original gangster. No, this cannot be forgiven. Now empty the compartments of your pantaloons. For what purpose? And discard of your footwear as well. For what purpose? In fact, I am equipped to...
That's British road rage right there.
I've really been trying to stick to my fitness goals this year, going out for a run near most every day. Finding the motivation can be hard, but thankfully, I have the perfect partners to help me reach my goals.
It's a Raycon sponsor. I got Raycons too. I'll show you the code. I'll show them the code real quick. Y'all probably seen Raycons before. 20% off, but that's a steal. Use code Masquerade.
Plus free shipping. On May 12th, 2022, the badly decomposed remains of a still unidentified woman were discovered in a wooded area in Wadesboro, North Carolina, just west of a National Guard armory.
By the way, that's not South Virginia. It's North Carolina. Wait. No, that'd be North Dakota. No, that'd be North Carolina.
The deceased, a scantily clad white female, estimated to have been between 20 and 40 years of age, couldn't be linked to any missing persons reports in the area. In lieu of her
I'm saying it's not South Virginia, because South Virginia, fucking forget it.
Real name, whatever that may be, she was given the moniker Anson County Jane Doe. She was estimated to have perished at some point in 2021. Unusually, at the time of her demise, the only clothing that the woman was wearing was a black Secret Treasures bra and a pair of leggings. Her cause of death has never been officially announced. While attempting to identify the woman, the most compelling, and easily the most disturbing lead the authorities came upon were several images captured by a trail cam close to where the doe's remains were found. The cam had been installed in a hunting zone near the armory to monitor a deer feeder. But instead of deer, it captured these.
Oh!
Images of an unknown woman wearing the same clothes as found on the doe's body, stumbling through the woodland on August 22nd, 2021. She was first recorded that night at 1:33 AM, entering the frame on the right. In the next image, captured a second later as the clock struck 1:34, she isn't visible at all, suggesting that she was running at the time. She later appeared again at 4:30 and 4:31 AM, this time hobbling in the opposite direction and using a large stick to support herself. This woman is strongly believed to be the Anson County Jane Doe, and though they didn't know why this lone female was wandering through the dense forest in the middle of the night, detectives now at least had a face to work with. Forensic investigators analyzed the images, but weren't able to draw many conclusions. It appeared as if the woman's leggings were wet above her knees, as was the lower half of her stick.
Oh my god, I don't care!
That suggested that she had crossed the body
Bad timing.
of water, likely Culpeper Creek.
Bad timing.
She had perhaps slipped and hurt herself while doing so, hence the walking stick. Some theorize that she was suffering from a mental breakdown, but others have suggested an even darker possibility, that she was being held somewhere remote against her will, and, with no time to get dressed, she had seized an opportunity to escape. Proponents of that theory believe that she ultimately met her end at the hands of her captor, who had somehow managed to track her down. Whatever did become of this woman, it's truly chilling to look over these images.
I mean, do they know? Like, did it say there was foul play in this? This is 2021. I mean, this could definitely be like a mental break. Like that shit does happen where people just like go off into the woods, like and just get completely lost.
And imagine what her final hours must have.
Let's have an understanding. Now what?
I want to watch the video.
Brother, what a way to run
Stop.
a railroad. Now,
been like, wandering alone through the woods, lost in unending blackness. In February 2022, 6 months after the trail cam footage was captured, and a few months before the Doe's remains were discovered, rabbit hunters stumbled upon a backpack containing an unspecified sum of cash close to the armory. They took the cash and abandoned
schizophrenia? Yeah, it could be schizophrenia.
the backpack in the forest. When news of the Doe's discovery spread, they brought the existence of the backpack to the authorities' attention. Unfortunately, to this day, that backpack hasn't been found.
Wait, what?
Despite providing relatively clear images of the Doe's face, the trail cam footage didn't result in any new leads. At least, none that the authorities have publicly announced. And that's the thing. Local law enforcement have remained unusually tight-lipped about this whole case, not releasing a description of the woman's remains, her cause of death, the colour of her hair,
Oh, okay, well that explains it.
or even a description of the missing backpack.
Ah, that explains it.
No major news outlets have reported on the story either, and it feels to many as if little's being done to solve this case.
Ah, okay.
As one anonymous local resident put it,
Alright.
I sure hope
They're protecting the killer. Alright, someone knows someone.
I never go missing in Anson County. In conjunction with these creepy images, it's that silence that's fueled so much online interest in this story. With so many questions, and so few answers, the Doe's identity has become a huge topic of discussion here on YouTube, over on Reddit, and, perhaps most importantly, on Facebook. Attempt to Locate is a Facebook group with 123,000 followers, a place for users to share photos related to UIDs, or unidentified decedents, and attempt to link them to the case files of missing persons. And while discussing these images of Anson County Jane Doe, several users brought up this woman. Amber Ray Johnston, a 36-year-old mother from Mojave County, Arizona, one who's been missing since August 2021.
Oh, shit.
To quote her page on missingpersonscenter.org,
After this video, honey.
Amber was last seen in Bullhead City in August 2021. She left all her personal belongings at her apartment. Her boyfriend left around that same time and went to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and Amber was supposed to take a bus to Myrtle Beach on August 16th and meet him there. In her last Facebook post, on August 19th, she streamed live from a bus before getting off at Winston-Salem. She hasn't been heard from since, and it's not clear whether she arrived in Myrtle Beach or not. Curiously,
Where was it?
Amber's food stamp card was used by
I forget. Anson
another
County. I
woman
forget
after her
where she was found.
disappearance. The woman, when contacted, said Amber's boyfriend had sold her the card. In the months prior to her disappearance, Amber had been using drugs and acting paranoid. Her case remains unsolved, and the circumstances are unclear. Amber Johnston bears an undeniable resemblance to the woman captured on the trail cam, and the date of her last correspondence lines up perfectly with when the footage was recorded. This lead has since been brought to the authorities' attention, and
Oh yeah, North Carolina. I mean, that makes sense.
it's yet to be confirmed whether Amber truly is the Doe or not. Given just how much attention this case has received as of late though, I'd wager that the local authorities will dedicate more resources to identifying her, and that
Then once you watch one of these videos, all my recommendations are these type of videos. I feel like YouTube recommendations have been booty lately. Yeah, YouTube recommendations have been really bad lately. It doesn't appeal to what you normally watch. It appeals to the last video you watch. So if you like watch one video, it'll only recommend that content of the video you just watched. It's really annoying.
she'll be given her name back in the near future. Until then, Anson County...
I mean, case in point, when we watched that, series of events with the breakdancing dad, instantly got some right-wing videos on my timeline. Like I would never get that on my timeline, you know what I mean? And that shit isn't even right-wing. I mean, the only right-wing thing about it was a breakdancing dad, but it was like, I don't know. This is
Auntie
weird.
Jane remains one of the USA's 14,000 unidentified decedents. I'll be sure to keep you all posted about any breakthroughs on my social media accounts. This is the last known photo of Snahanshu Sharma, a smart and cheerful 8-year-old boy from Hooghly, West Bengal. As reported by India Today, the boy met his end on February 16th, 2024, when he accidentally witnessed his mother, Shanta Sharma, in a, quote, compromising position with her secret lesbian partner, Ifat Parveen. Snahanshu became distraught when he saw his mother betraying his father. Little did he realize that his father, Pankaj, already knew about his wife's secret love affair, which had been going on since before they got married, but he had chosen to keep silent about it.
Oh, wait, is this the one where it's like blatantly obvious that the parents had something to do with it, but like they don't say anything about it? They act like nothing happened? This picture looks familiar. Like the one of the family, that one looked familiar.
Shanta tried to persuade her son to keep quiet too, but even after talking things over with him, she and Dishrat feared that he might reveal their secret to someone.
Oh, of course. Of course. You know, instead of talking to your son, trying to get him to hide it, just kill him.
Although lesbian relationships are legal in India, in certain areas, they're considered extremely taboo and socially unacceptable. Terrified of a social backlash that could ruin their lives, both Shanta and Ifat did the unthinkable. Together, they pinned Snahanshu down, stabbed him several times with a vegetable knife so forcefully that the blade bent, and struck him in the head with an iron rod and a stone idol. They did all—
Worried about people thinking you're weird? Kill your child. Oh, you're worried about everyone thinking that that you like girls? Kill your child. What the fuck? What the fuck?
all this while the boy's father, Pankaj, was at work, and when the only witness at the home was the family dog, Shadow. However, when Snahanshu's cousin came over and discovered the boy's lifeless body inside the home, investigators were quickly summoned and were able to identify his killers. Shanta and Nifat's mobile data placed them inside the house with Snahanshu at the time his life came to an end, as did surveillance footage captured by a neighbor. Forensic experts also found traces of Snahanshu's vital fluid on both of their clothes and on the stone idol inside the family home. They were arrested 4 days after the slaying, at which point Shanta confessed to taking her son's life out of fear of social embarrassment and ostracization.
That's
Deputy Commissioner Biswas stated
completely normal response to that. You know, totally normal response
to the media.
Wow.
The relationship between
Holy
Shanta
shit.
and Ifat was an old one.
What the fuck?
They used to talk on the phone for hours past midnight. Based on multiple pieces of evidence, we zeroed in on these two women. Shanta was arrested from her home.
Chat, which is worse? Which is worse? Getting caught being a lesbian in a culture that doesn't allow it? Or killing your son? Which one looks worse on you? Honestly, being caught being a lesbian. Let's be real. Let's be real here. I mean, killing your son, not that big of a deal.
And Ifat from hers. Both
So
women
being
are
a
currently
murderer is
held
better
in
than
police
being
custody,
gay? Of
awaiting their
course.
trial. Snahanshu's father is calling for his wife and her partner to be hanged.
Fuck. It's I know it's crazy. It's actually legal too. That's wild. In India, it is. Well, yeah, it's legal, but it's like severely frowned upon. But still, it's legal. Like that's
On September
that's
20th,
disgusting.
2022, Emma Brown, age 12, was firing guns with her father, Daniel Brown, at their home in Poolville, Texas.
No.
Daniel ran a firearms business, and Emma had grown up around guns and ammo. That afternoon, the pair posed together for a photo before their joint target practice.
Oh no.
What Daniel didn't know in that moment was that his daughter had other plans in mind, which she had
That's not where I expected this to go.
morbidly hinted at by wearing a Harry Potter t-shirt with the quote, "I solemnly swear that I am up to no good." The 7th grader had
That's a bit
secretly
of a
been
reach.
planning a murder pact with an online friend. Both girls had mutually agreed to take out their entire families, including their pets, before running away together.
Why? Why?
According to chat logs, Emma planned to steal her parents' car, pick up her accomplice, and drive 230 miles to Georgia. Shortly after this image was taken, Emma intentionally fired a shot into her father's abdomen. After incapacitating her father, Emma took off down the driveway and walked about 100 yards down the road. But for whatever reason, she aborted her plan, and instead of making her way to Georgia, fired a single shot into her own head. Officers later arrived at the scene and found Emma lying in the dirt road. She passed away 2 days later in a local hospital. Her father, Daniel, survived his injuries.
Dude, imagine the absolute confusion of the parent. I mean, obviously I don't know like their past. I don't know if like he's a horrible father or some shit, but like, wow, that's crazy.
Emma's partner in crime, who also happened to be a 7th grader, was picked up by the authorities at her home in Lufkin and was charged with conspiracy to commit murder. Thankfully, she had either backed out of their mutual pact.
He was only shot in the stomach, right?
Or never intended to go through with the plan in the first place, as her family were unharmed.
That's survivable.
She was fully prosecuted and sentenced in March 2023. Neither her name nor her sentence have been revealed to the public due to her age, and it's unclear how she and Emma had met, or why they both intended to eliminate their families and run off together.
That shit's scary. My God. Oh,
Icon
no.
Park's Orlando Freefall was touted by its operators as the tallest freestanding drop tower in the world.
Oh no.
The attraction lifted riders in a gondola 430 feet above the ground before inclining.
Not gonna lie, this is like one of my fears, dude. Like roller coasters, that's chill. Like whatever, I can handle roller coasters. This shit just full on dropping you. It's just, I don't know, man.
When the seats forward 30 degrees and plunging them into a freefall, breaking 100 feet above the ground. Riders were only meant to experience a 4G thrill, a mild stomach upset, and a few laughs. But on March 24th, 2022, things ended very differently for one park guest. Tyrie Samson was just 14 when he fell to his demise from the Orlando Freefall drop tower. The adolescent, originally from St. Louis, had been on vacation in Florida with his family.
Bro, he was from St. Louis too? Oh man, that's like right next to me. Oh,
and a friend.
What the fuck?
When he and his buddy made it to the front of the line for the drop tower, staff were immediately concerned with the boy's size. The tower's manual specified a weight limit of 287 pounds for the ride. Tyrie, who stood at 6'5" and weighed 383 pounds.
Damn, he is a unit! That is a big boy! He's only 14? What? 6'5"? Jesus!
Was too large to fit safely into the seat.
He is huge.
As such, the harness sensor in Tyrie's seat had to be manually adjusted, loosened, and then tightened again.
Why would you ever think that's a good idea? Oh yeah, you know these safety protocols we have? Yeah, let's override them.
Creating a larger gap than normal between his harness and the seat. The young attendant assisting Tyrie had only been working at the park for 3 days, was still technically a trainee, and believed that because the adjustment had made the indicator light turn green, that it was safe to proceed with the ride.
Wow.
Moments before the ride was activated, Tyrie could tell that something wasn't right.
I mean,
and
look at it!
reportedly said to his friend beside him, "I don't know, man. If I don't make it down safely, can you please tell my mama and daddy that I love them?" This photo shows Tyrie seconds before the gondola began to rise. His shoulder bar was noticeably looser than his fellow riders. After the ride reached its target height of 430 feet, Tyrie began to panic, realizing that he wasn't properly secured. But by that point, it was too late. The ride went into freefall. The brakes applied, and because of the G-force, Tyrie was effectively sucked through the gap in his harness and hurtled to the concrete, smashing into the ground head first. He died shortly after impact. Video footage of this incident exists, but for obvious reasons, I don't recommend seeking it out. The visuals, and in particular, the sound, are absolutely soul-crushing. Even worse, when viewing it, it's apparent that nobody immediately helped the boy, and park employees can be heard trying to pass the blame. A lawsuit filed by Tyrie's family claimed that there were no visible weight limits or scales at the ride location. After learning the details of what happened, I can't help but wonder, why wasn't he turned away? Said Tyrie's mother. He'd been refused on other rides, so why not this one? I understand he's a child. He insisted on riding with his friend, I get that. But as an adult, or a ride attendant, that decision should have been made. His feelings might have been hurt, but he would still be here with me.
Man.
His family filed a wrongful death suit against the owners of the amusement park and settled for an undisclosed amount. The ride has since been dismantled.
Wow.
On July 6th,
He was targeted? That's what it feels like. Man, at least that, I don't know, like, that's just that's
2023,
so fucked up, man.
2 students disappeared from India's northeastern state.
That's like, it's so preventable. Like, you know, the ones that are sad are like the ones like that one in, where the Kansas City ride where the kid got fucking decapitated or whatever. Like, don't get me wrong, it was technically preventable, but like, it wasn't preventable in the moment. It was preventable in the construction of the slide. But like, this was like fully preventable. I mean, actually, no, I think the one in Kansas City was technically preventable because like, wasn't it like the weight limit of the raft or something like that? Okay, never mind. I revoke that statement. I think that one was preventable too. But still.
Of Manipur.
You know what I mean?
Hijam Linthon Gambi, a 17-year-old Métis Hindu, had been attending tutorials that morning and was later captured.
You know how scary it was and like how like haunting it was? Because my family lives in Kansas City and I go and visit there like every year. And whenever it happened, like I went to Kansas City shortly after, and then just like seeing the slide was so haunting and creepy after it happened.
Captured on CCTV, riding on a motorbike with her friend, Fijam Hemanjith, age 20.
Yeah, the weight distribution.
When both youngsters
like
failed to return home that
them
evening,
up
their
because
families
the weight
reported
was
them missing.
Fully on one side.
For over 2 months, their whereabouts and well-being remained a mystery. Both sets of...
That is a name. These are both names. Wow, I don't even know how you say that.
Whereabouts and well-being remained a mystery. Both sets of parents clung on to hope that their children would be found alive and well. That is, until late September, when this photo went viral on social media. The image shows both missing students seated together in an outdoor wooded area. Linthon Gambi wears a mask and looks directly at the camera with a scared expression, while Hemanjith's gaze is averted and empty. 2 armed individuals, their captors, can be observed in the background. Members of the rival Kuki Christian community who had forced the 2 students into one of their trucks at gunpoint. In May of 2023, violence had erupted between the Métis people, who make up the majority of those living in the Yambal Valley region of Manipur, and the Kukizo tribal community, who called the surrounding hills home. The Kuki people have long complained about feeling marginalized and persecuted by the Métis, who hold more sway with the state government, and tensions came to a boiling point when the Métis demanded official tribal status, which would allow them to buy land and settle in predominantly Kuki areas. To date, approximately 200 people have been killed during the conflict, more than 1,000 injured, 60,000 displaced, and countless women essayed and publicly humiliated. It's safe to say that atrocities have been committed by both sides. Now, I'm by no means an expert, but from my understanding, the Kukis have a legitimate grievance with how the state government favours Métis people. However, in this case, Kuki militants seem to have taken their frustrations out on 2 innocent young people and decided to make an example out of them. By the time this image had surfaced online, the conflict had become so inflamed that curfews and internet blackouts were ordered. Another blackout was issued after it was posted too, leading many to hope.
That is the most lame thing to say right now, but like, I hate
that peaceful
people so
negotiations may result in Linthorn and Himanchith's safe release. But when normal internet services returned on September 25th, a second picture began circulating online. One that showed the bodies of the 2 students lying in a pit.
Oh my god.
They were wearing the same clothes as seen in this image, and it's believed that they were executed mere moments after it was taken, likely as revenge against the Métis. Hicham Shantikuma, Linthorn uncle, revealed that these images had broken the poor girl's mother. She's devastated.
The world is a vampire, or whatever that Led Zeppelin song says? Led Zeppelin! That's Smashing Pumpkins! Get it right!
And faints every few minutes, he stated. She had been anxiously awaiting any news of her daughter's safety, of her return. We had to show her the images.
Bannable offense, to be honest, yeah.
Never. The government has utterly failed. There is no governance here. For the past 3 months, they've suspended the internet. Without internet, we'd have never learned about their deaths. During a protest held in Yamphal, thousands of students rallied to demand justice for Linthorn and Himanchith. At least 45 protesters sustained injuries following clashes with the authorities, who deployed tear gas and fired rubber pellets. I want to assure the people that both the state and central government are closely collaborating to apprehend the culprits, Chief Minister Singh stated on Twitter. On October 1st, 2023, 4 adults were arrested in connection with the slaying of the students.
Oh, thank God.
2 men, Palminlan Haukip and Smolsom Haukip, and 2 women, Lingnajong Baitakuki and Tinaling Himpa.
At least someone got caught.
If found guilty, they'll face the death penalty for taking the lives of 2 young, innocent students caught up in the crossfire of a conflict that they didn't start, that they didn't participate in, and that they didn't ask for. Darren Charles Mitchell, 21, was a National Guardsman and father from Navasota, Texas. May 26, 2016 was a torrentially rainy day in that part of the Lone Star State, and as Darren travelled down Highway 105 just outside of Brenham, his truck became trapped in flash floodwater which washed out the road. He clambered out into the bed of the vehicle and called his brother to let him know the situation, that he was trapped but still alive. But the floodwater continued to rise at an alarming rate. A high percentage of flood-related fatalities come from being hit by debris, and so, perhaps fearing being struck or washed away, Darren clambered back into the driver's side seat. Shortly thereafter, at 6:29 p.m, he posted this photo to his Facebook page.
Oh no! Oh God! Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate this so much.
The caption read, "All I wanted to do was go home."
Oh.
But Darren would never get to go home
The
again.
picture of his daughter's profile
Moments after
picture,
uploading this photo, his vehicle became fully submerged. One local resident, Lashondo Smith, watched in horror as Darren's truck was swept away by the water. All of a sudden, he got back in his truck, and like maybe 10-15 minutes after that, it just flipped and he topsided into the water. It just disappeared. You didn't see tires, his truck, nothing. The following morning, Darren's body was found downstream in Kirkendall Creek. He was far from the only person who lost their life during that flood. Layla Holland, 64, drowned when floodwaters consumed her home.
My God.
Jimmy Wayne Schaefer, 49, was swept away in his vehicle. Florida Malima, 23, drowned in her car. And Purali Umatia, 59, was found lifeless in Yegwa Creek.
Bro, this is a sad fucking video. Jesus Christ, man.
On October 22nd, 1999, 60-year-old Santa Barbara resident Jan Davis attempted a base jump from El Capitan in Yosemite Park. Davis's jump was part of an organized civil act of disobedience, protesting new regulations which made base jumping illegal in Yosemite without a permit. By leaping from El Capitan, the group hoped to prove a simple point: that base jumping was completely safe and that it shouldn't be outlawed.
Oh no.
The protest was organized in reaction to the drowning death of fellow jumper Frank Gambale III on June 9th.
Oh no. The irony.
Frank had successfully parachuted from El Capitan, but drowned in the river below while attempting to escape from rangers, ones who were staking out the mountain to catch jumpers breaking the new regulation. Jan was the fourth of 5 jumpers who had gathered at the top of El Cap to attempt the jump. The first 3 successfully executed their jumps and received cheers from the 150 or so onlookers at ground level. These jumpers were subsequently taken into custody by rangers stationed at the bottom of the mountain, but they all anticipated this. Jan herself had even dressed in an inmate's outfit, mocking what she considered a ridiculous regulation. At approximately 1:20 PM, it was her turn to step up to the plate. An experienced jumper who had performed stunts in movies like Waterworld and Congo, Jan showed no signs of fear as she shimmied up to the edge of El Cap. One of her fellow protesters gave her a 10-second countdown, and with the shout of 3, 2, 1, see ya ringing in her ears, Daredevil Jan flung herself over the edge of the 3,200-foot mountain. Initially, all appeared well, but onlookers grew concerned when she didn't deploy her chute at the recommended altitude.
Oh no.
"Pull, woman," muttered the cameraman as he watched her falling towards the rocks below at full speed. "Dude, she's got problems, man," he said a few seconds later. Jan fell for over 15 seconds before striking the talus slope at the cliff's base. She died on impact. Investigators later found out that Jan was jumping with borrowed gear, fearing that the rangers would confiscate hers upon her arrest. Trouble was, Jan usually pulled the cord on her back. On the borrowed jumpsuit, the cord was on her leg. This likely led to confusion mid-jump, and unfortunately...
Bro, how do you not double check that shit, man? Oh my god. She didn't know where the thing was? Is that really? Wow. Wow.
Base jumpers argue that by prohibiting the activity, rangers are forcing hobbyists to take unnecessary risks, such as jumping in low light and using older gear that they don't mind being confiscated. But rangers argue that the community's readiness to break their own rules is exactly why base jumping can't be allowed. And, ironically, Jan's protest jump served to highlight their point. Although base jumping is still banned in Yosemite to this day, hang gliding is permitted 1 day a week from Glacier Point. The hang gliding community have always been very compliant with the regulations, said Yosemite spokesperson Scott Gediman, whereas the base jumpers have not.
She should have had the common sense if she wasn't... Dude, like, she was a professional, chat. Like, she just had overconfidence. That's literally all it was. Like, when you do this thing, you know, all the fucking time, like, I'm sure at a point, you just don't even think about it anymore. You just do it. And then she probably didn't double check shit. She probably didn't safe check. She's just like, oh, I've done this thousands of times, whatever, you know. And then it just happened to be that time where it was different.
If you enjoyed the video and you'd like to see more, make sure to subscribe and hit...
I always subscribe. Thank you, Lazy Masquerade, for the great video. That was rough. Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you laugh or cry or maybe subscribed? I'll thank you either way. You know I will miss you. I hope you return. Tell your friend or your mother to get me more views, please.